Welcome to the complete PowerPoint tutorial, and I'm your instructor, Chris Ivory. And on behalf of Think Tank Careers, we would like to say thank you for enrolling in this course. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, what is PowerPoint? PowerPoint is a slideshow presentation software built by Microsoft. So what that means is you can create slideshows on your computer to be used while you're giving presentation. It's helped you support your presentation with visuals. So PowerPoint makes it very easy to create these slideshows. It also allows you to collaborate with other people and present it very easily. All you have to do is click on your slideshow button to start your presentation, which I'll teach you more about. PowerPoint also offers word processing, so all the processing things from Microsoft Word, spelling, spell check, the fonts. It also allows you to outline, draw on your slides. It allows you to build graphs in your slide for data and analytical purpose, and many more presentation management tools. So why PowerPoint? PowerPoint is standard amongst all professions and schools. You see people giving PowerPoint presentations every day in the workplace and every day in the schools, and it's a great tool to learn because it offers so much. PowerPoint supports your presentation with visuals, so this helps keep from having too boring of presentations where you're just talking, you have no visuals or anything to help support you while you're talking, and it allows you to easily outline a presentation. PowerPoint is a very great tool where you can outline how you want to present, and you can also use tools that will help you make your presentation much more engaging, such as slide transitions, animations. You can add videos into your PowerPoint, you can add audio into your PowerPoint, and this will help you be much more engaging with your audience instead of having them maybe fall asleep during your presentation. So once again, thank you for enrolling in this course. I would like to quickly go over our course outline for what you expect to learn in this PowerPoint tutorial. So first off, we're going to start with the basic overview of PowerPoint and how its interface works, where the ribbon is, the tabs, and just how everything works. After we go over that, the next thing we'll be learning is how to create a slideshow presentation. So how to add new slides, how to insert text into your slides, how to choose different slide designs and styles, and we'll be learning all those basic elements just to teach you how to create a slideshow presentation. After that, we'll be learning how to insert images into your PowerPoint slides, audio, video, and much more. Things like graphs. Maybe you have graphs from Excel you want to add into your slides. We could teach you how to do that. And we'll also teach you how to design creative slides. It's important that your slides aren't boring, they aren't plain. You want to have some kind of graphics and art. You want your slides to keep your audience engaged, and we will make sure we teach you how to do that. We'll also be teaching you how to use Smart Art, which is another tool to help you design these creative slides that I was just talking about. And it's very easy, and I will teach you how to use that as well. And continuing in our course outline, we'll also teach you how to use slide transitions, so how to transition from one slide to the next. Instead of just having a plain transition, we'll teach you all the interesting type of transitions that there are. We'll teach you how to use animations within your slides, so it will help bring some life to your slide. It won't just be a plain flat slide. It'll have some liveliness, and hopefully that will also keep your audience engaged. Then we'll show you how to record your slideshow presentations. So maybe you can't be there in person to present. We'll teach you how to record your slideshow from PowerPoint. We'll also teach you how to rehearse your timing. So let's say you're in a group and you only have 10 minutes to present or 5 minutes to present. You can use timings in your PowerPoint to make sure that you're hitting your mark with the amount of time you have allotted. And lastly, we'll teach you how to save your PowerPoint presentation, save it to a PDF file. We'll also teach you how to email it out and all the basic file things to make sure you don't lose your PowerPoint file. And throughout this course, you will learn many tips and tricks just along the way to make you a PowerPoint power user. Let's start by simply opening up our PowerPoint application. So I'm going to go here on the bottom left and click on the start and go over here to the PowerPoint symbol right here and click on our PowerPoint. As you can see, it takes me to PowerPoint, and right away we have a few options. Our first option is to go to any recent PowerPoints that we have been building. So you can see I was working on financial statements, and you could open other. So right here are your most recent, and then you can find older. And then over here they have templates for you. So you can start out with a blank presentation, or you could go on to other templates that they've already built for you. And all you have to do is simply click on it and it will download the template for you. And you already have your template, but most people normally just start out with a blank presentation and then build their template in as they go on. And then up here you could search for suggested templates that you might be wanting to do. So if you have a business meeting, you could search business templates and it will quickly show you all the business templates that it has. So let's just go ahead and start with a blank presentation. So this is the PowerPoint user face. This is our interface. This is what we'll be working with. So first here, you can see that we have a blank slide, and right here shows you the number of slides. And this will keep showing you the preview of all the slides that you make. So if we were to just to click on new slide, title slide, now you see we have 2 slides. Let's just go back to our first one. So we have our first slide, our second slide, and then, like I said, shows a preview. And here we have the actual slide. This is where you will do your work. So we could click to add a title right here, as you can say. So first slide, and right here, as you can see in our preview, automatically updates. And over here, we can add a subtitle as well, whatever we might want to. And let's now go to the ribbon. So the ribbon is our top bar up here, which has all these different things. We have our home bar, which is all of our basic tools that you would need to build your slides. It doesn't have any decorations and designs, but it's your basic things, your font size, the color of your font, if you want it bold, how you want it laid out, all of those kind of things, shape, fills, quick styles, and we'll get into that much more. Next, we have our insert ribbon. And in this section, we can insert pictures, tables, we can insert pictures that we save from online, charts that we built, charts from Excel. We can insert text box to make our own text box where we want our text to show up instead of having the text box already here for you. There's a number of things you can do with insert audio as well. Next, we have our design. So like I said, there's template plates for you already, and I'm just hovering over them. I'm not clicking on anything. As you can see, it's automatically updating the slide that I'm on to give you a preview of what it would look like if we went to that template. Next, we have our transition. So how do you want it to transition from slide to slide? How do you want it to transition from slide to slide? Do you want it just disappear, reappear, no transition? Do you want it to morph? Do you want it to fade into a new slide? And we'll get into that much more. We have our animations. We have the slideshow for when you're ready to present. You could just go and present from your beginning, and it'll go to a big screen. Then, of course, your review, like on all the Microsoft products, you can review your spelling, your thesaurus, things of that nature, and you can view it how you want to view it. And lastly, we have the file tab. In the file tab, this is where you could go to save your work. You could open old work, you could start something new, and you could also go into your account if you want to make this into your Microsoft account, and you could go into your click on options, and you could customize your ribbon. You could customize it, add things in, take things out that you want to be perfect for you. But for me, I just like to go with what they give you. It works, and we can always find what we need. So the next thing we'll be going over is how to build your own slide from scratch. Now let's get started on creating our first PowerPoint slide and how to enter our text into there. So simply as it says, click to add our title. I'm going to just title it using PowerPoint. Very simple. And by Chris Ivory, that is who I am. So that'll be our introduction slide, our title slide. And up here, we have 2 options to add a new slide. We could just simply click right here, and it will add a new slide for us. And as you can see, it automatically has this type of template right here where you have your your title, then where you have your text right here. And this is the automatic template that comes up when you add a new slide. So let's just title this Getting Started with PowerPoint. And let's just add some text. So adding a new slide. That's what we've learned so far. And entering text. So simply, as you see, you just simply go in there, type, and automatically, when you have this template, it uses bullet points for you. You don't have to have bullet points if you don't want. You could just unclick this bullets right here, but it's nice just to get a quick outline of what you're doing. And bullet points is a great way of just outlining your main points, not putting drag on sentences, just quick bullet point thoughts that you could touch on while you're giving your presentation. So another way we could add our slide is click right here, and this is adding new slide, and you have all these options of the type of slides you want to add. So let's just go with the same title and content, and we'll just title this Creating an Outline. So now that we're creating our outline, we're adding more text, learning about adding new slides in different ways. So I think it's important when you're using PowerPoint to just create your outline first. There's a lot of designs that go on. You could take an hour designing your slide before you even put the context in. So I think most important is just to put your context in, put your words in, type what you need to, then you could go back and make it look like the way you want. But your content, that's your most important thing when giving a presentation. So let's go ahead and add a new slide again. And here's another way that we could change a slide that we've already built. Instead of adding a new slide and making it the way you want, you can simply right click on the existing slide, go to layout, and you could do it any way you want. So let's just go with this to content slide. So changing slide layout to content, and we can add text over here. So as you can see, that this slide just automatically shows you, it gives you two contents. You could type it side by side, you can compare things if that's what you want to. Since this is a little off-centered, we have two contents now. We could just simply go here and click on this center button right here, and it'll center everything for us as well. Two content slide, learning different layouts, and it gets much more advanced than these simple layouts. These are just your simple basic layouts. There's much more we could do when we add smart art and images. You can always click on a box, and if you want to, you can move it around wherever you want on the slide as well. So this is just simply just kind of getting an idea of how you're arranging it, setting it up, and then you can move it around the way that you want to move it around, which I think is an important tool. But first, you just kind of want to get it started on what you're doing. And then we could also, let's say, we could quickly just insert an image that we want to. So we could go insert pictures, and then you could go for whatever picture that you want. So, and this picture popped up huge, but you could just drag on the corner and you could simply resize it to the way you want. And now I just quickly added a picture, and we'll go in much more depth about adding images and the different things you can do with images, but it's just another way you could create your slide. So now it looks like we have our talking point and a picture right here with this slide, and this is just quickly creating our outline. And to go over it, we can just go here to our slideshow and click from beginning. So now we have our using PowerPoint, and you would click on the right arrow to go next. So you click on the right arrow, now it pops up to your next slide. And then we can do that, and we can go all the way to our last slide. And when you get your last slide and do it, it gives you this screen, end of slideshow. And we just hit escape. And also over here on the left, where it shows you your preview and your outline of your slideshow, you can also just change the order by simply clicking and dragging to whatever order you want your slides to be in. Just in case you might have made your slides out of order, or after you made them you realize like, oh, I want this slide over here. You don't have to delete it and create it again. You can just hold on, click and drag, and you can create your order that way. And that is it just for creating our first slides and getting used to creating a slide. Now let's go ahead and get into some design themes for PowerPoint. As I said earlier, we could just go here and click on the design tab and scroll over any design, and this will give you a live preview of what your slide is going to look like. And you could just scroll down here, they have many options, or you could just click this button and it will show you all the options that PowerPoint has for your designs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna choose this one right here. As you can see, the theme has completely changed what my slide was looking like. At first it had the title up here, and then it had our content, but now it's changed. It's moved the title to the left, and it did that all on its own. And when you click on a design theme, as you can see, all the slides are updated. If you want to just update, let's say, a few slides, so let's say we want to just update these two slides, we're gonna click control and click on these two slides. And now let's go for another theme. So let's go for this theme, and we're gonna right click on it, and we're gonna go to apply to selected slides. So now we have two different design themes going on in our PowerPoint. Another thing that you can do with these slides is you can set, by right clicking, you can apply to all slides, or you can also just set it as your default theme. So whenever you open PowerPoint, this theme will automatically pop up. If it's one that you really like, it's your go-to, you could just make it your default theme as well. Now the next thing we can do after choosing the slide is we could go look at the different variations that they have right over here in this section where it says variants. And once again, we could hover over and we can see that they have all different kind of options for this slide. So let's just go ahead and we'll click on this. So now, once again, the two slides that have this design theme are updated. And we could click on this button right here, so we could choose what colors we want. So as you can see, as I'm scrolling over, the color is changing right here in the background in the top. It's a live preview until I click it once again. And you could go ahead and customize the colors that you want for everything. We could also go ahead and change the font that is in our slide, and we could also go ahead and do some effects if the slide works with it. And then lastly, we have the background style, so I could just change the color completely of my background if I don't like how it looks. The next thing that we can do is we could work on the slide size over here in the customize. So we have our widescreen, which is what is the default for PowerPoint. What's normally for our computers, they're widescreen. But you can also click on the standard, and we could go to maximize, or you could go to ensure fit. And as you can see now, things look a little more blocky, and we could go to slideshow and then view from current slide. And as you can see, it looks a lot more blocky now. Square, you have the black outline going. So let's press escape to exit out of this. And let's just go ahead and change our slide size back to our widescreen. You can also customize the size of your slide as well if you know exactly what width and height that you want your slide to look for what you're presenting on. Maybe you're presenting on a big projector. So you could do it for whatever you need, however you need it. And then we also have the format background over here. You could make it more gradient, You could kind of make the background disappear. You could get real into it and design it, but once again, you don't want to spend too much time designing it unless you're going for a more artistic flair. And then down here in your slides, we also have where you can take notes. You can click to add a note to each slide. This is for each separate slide. You can add a note about what you're talking about. So if you want to say this slide's about getting started, and if you put any points that you didn't mention that you want to talk about in greater detail, you could add that down here just so you could see it, you could study it yourself, so when you're presenting your slide doesn't have too much content in it. And then also we have a slide, or not a slide, but in our design we have the design ideas, which is new to PowerPoint 2016, so you must have the updated PowerPoint 2016 to be able to use this tool right here. And we're going to go in more depth in that in future videos. Right now we're just going over our basic design themes, and so we've learned the design themes, how to design each slide quickly using their themes and PowerPoint's themes. In this video, we'll be now learning about design themes, and before you get started, you must have the most updated PowerPoint, which is 2016 right now. You need to make sure it's updated, all your windows are updated, so we can get to using this design themes. So let's go to right here under the designer tab in design. We have this design idea, so we're going to click on that, and as you can see, it just automatically goes ahead and generates ideas for you. So we can click on them and just kind of go through the different design ideas that PowerPoint comes up with for you. You don't have to sit here spending all your time trying to design your slides. You could simply enter your content and just go to design ideas and let PowerPoint do that for you instead of taking hours trying to make it look perfect, unless you're into that, which is okay. And we'll get into more detail later about designing your own slide. But for a quick way, you could go to design ideas, and PowerPoint has this software already built in to help you design anything that you want. And we could go here again to the next slide. It's helping us once again with our design ideas. Yep. But some slides, if there's not enough content, they won't have any ideas for you. So you have to have enough content in there, or you have to make your own slide. And then we can always just go ahead and add a new slide. So title and content. And I'm gonna go ahead and insert a picture, and we'll insert this picture, and as you can see, it automatically comes up with design ideas for how you can use your picture within your slide for you. And once you do it, automatically comes up with design ideas, which is a nice feature that helps you update it without having to do much work. So as you can see, design ideas is a great tool for you to use to speed up your process if you're not into building your slides and going in-depth detail to making sure slides come out looking great. You could just simply use design ideas and it will come up like this for you, and you can still always go back, see how they're still using our other designs. We can use our variants, so we'll have different colors in our backgrounds. If we're using that, we can still change the format of the background. If we wanted to, we could change the color. We can add different things plus the design ideas, so we can still use our design and also use the design ideas that they're giving us to create a combination. So maybe you just want to do part of it and you don't want to do the whole design idea, so you can use design ideas and then choose your background color or choose the design theme. You can add on to this in these different type of ways. But like I said, design ideas is a great tool to quickly make your slides look a lot more presentable, and they're not so bland and plain. In this video, we're going to get into reusing slides from a different presentation. So, many times in the business world or school or whatever you're going through, you get plenty of presentations, and sometimes the topics can overlap. and you're like, oh, maybe I just want to use this slide from another presentation to put it in my current presentation. And that is a very simple thing that you could do in Excel. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this new slide tab, and then we're going to go down here to the bottom and we're going to reuse slides. So it's going to ask you over here, insert slide from. So we're going to click browse. You can open the slide library, PowerPoint file. So we're just going to browse, and we're going to browse a file, and we're going to go from this given presentation PowerPoint that I have. And as you can see, it tells you how many slides you have and all of the slides that you have in there. So every time you click on it, it's opening the slide. And if you want to, though, you could keep your source formatting. So let me delete a couple of these extra slides that I have. So let me just add this one. So far we've added this one slide, but if I want to keep the source formatting and I click on this slide now, you see everything's exactly the same. And then click on keeping source formatting, so you can see it looks completely the same as it did from over here in the preview. The colors are the same, the format's exactly the same as I had it in my other presentation, and I'd keep formatting to how this presentation is. And you may want to use that, but most likely you want to just use the formatting of your current presentation because you want it to go along and flow correctly without being all these different colors just randomly popping in. So I'm also going to add this slide as well. I'm going to click on that, and as you can see, I just quickly took these slides, they were PowerPoint, formatted them into the colors that I'm using, the color scheme I'm using in this current presentation, and took my slide from an old presentation and put it directly into this one. Nice, quick, and easy. And that's one of the great tools of PowerPoint, especially 2016, the newest one. It's a great tool. It's a powerful tool, and it can make your life much easier when you're giving presentations on the same topic over and over again. In this video, we're going to go over inserting images and other objects. So first, let's just start off by creating a new slide, and we'll start with the title and content, and we'll be title this inserting objects. So now to insert an object, we're going to go up here to the insert tab, which we've already used a little bit. I've inserted a couple pictures. So in this tab, you can insert new slides, you can insert a table, which is interesting because it shows you how big you want your table, how many lines by how many lines, 5 by 5. And as you can see, it pops up on the slide actually for a live preview of how it will look, your table. But that's not for now. You can do pictures, and these pictures are straight from your computer. And then we have pictures from online, and you can screenshot. And then we also have shapes that you can insert, icons, smart art, which we'll get into in more detail later, and charts as well. And we can insert our own text box. But for now, let's just go work on inserting a picture. And let's get rid of this over here. So we're just going to insert a picture, go back to our picture roll, and here we go. And once again, the design ideas pop up for us, ways that we could use this design. So I like this design idea right here. So now that we have inserted our picture, there's more things we can do. We can crop in and the outline it a little different in different ways. We can have our dark outline. We turn this picture into a circle. And these are the picture styles that already come with. And as always, click on more and just shows us all the different things we can do. Now we can go to our picture border. We could choose what color we want our border of our picture to be, or even if we want to outline it all. Next, we have our picture effects. So there are some preset effects for pictures. You see it turns it diagonally, kind of popping out at you. And then there's the 3D options. So there's the shadow. You can give your picture a shadow, an outer shadow, an inner shadow, or just from your perspective. And as you see, everything's kind of popping up. So let's just give it a quick little perspective shadow. You can see right here, a shadow's been added. And then we can also add a glow around the picture. And you could change the color of your glow. And we can add a bevel, so a little depth to our picture. And then we have the 3D rotations that will make our picture gain a little bit more perspective, look a little different, and you could just kind of fool around with it, whatever you like for your picture. I'm not gonna add a rotation. Then we go here, and you could, if you had your picture, if you have more than one pictures, so let's insert another picture. And I'm just gonna go ahead, a picture we've already used, and I could click on send backwards, and now that picture is hidden behind the Y picture, or I could bring it back forward, and now this picture is on top of everything. So let's just go ahead and just choose a different design theme once again, and we get rid of these design ideas. So that's just how you insert pictures, different things you could do with the pictures when you after you've inserted them. And we're going to go into inserting other objects in more depth in later videos. In this video, we're going to go over how to insert pictures from online. So in the last video, we learned how to insert pictures from our computer. In this video, we want to learn how to go online and just insert a picture from the internet. So first things first, I want to just change our design theme. And then I'm going to add a new slide. And I'm going to choose, I want a title and content slide. So I'm going to add title, insert picture from internet. And now we're just going to go ahead, go to our insert tab, go to online pictures. And we gives you the option to search from Bing automatically. And we're just going to go ahead and type in PowerPoint. So as you can see here, all of these options come up. And first you could choose Creative Commons only, or you could choose all results. And this is just kind of, as you can see right here, make sure that you're not copyrighting people's work or anything like that. And you can also choose the color that you want, if you want color only or black and white work. The type, you want to be a photograph, clip art, transparent, and you can choose the size of the picture. And you can scroll through all these different pictures. You can select multiple pictures if you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and just select one, and we're going to click insert. And as you can see, the design ideas still show up. So here's, I could insert the pictures from the internet, then use the design idea, and I have a nicely formatted clean slide where I have my picture. And I can still do the same thing I did with the image I downloaded from my computer. I could change the picture style a little bit. I could give it effects. I could give it a different layout. I could even crop it if I wanted to. So let's just give it a little bit of a shadow. I think that'll be neat. And then we can still add text. So Bing search online picture, select picture, and then we could choose from different styles from the picture that we want. And you can see I made that a quick slide, didn't put much effort into it, using design ideas, using pictures from the internet, and you can see I quickly created a nice looking slide that you could present and be proud of still at the same time. In this video, we're going to be going over how to apply smart art to your slides. Smart art is just another way of formatting your slides. Instead of it just being plain text, you can add some cool graphics. With SmartArt, there's two different ways to do it. You can insert the content first and then click on SmartArt and then do it, or you could choose the graphic and then put in your context. So I'm going to show you both of the different ways. So let's just start a new slide, and let's just change this layout, title, and content. So using SmartArt, and this will be our first way. So I'm going to go up here into the Insert tab, and I'm just going to click on this SmartArt. And as you can see, all these different art graphics show up. So you could choose from the list, processes, cycle, matrix, hierarchy, relationship, pyramids, however you want your artwork and your slide to look like. So I'm just going to choose a process, and I'm going to click OK. So there's two ways you could type in the text. You could type in the text as you normally do. So I'm just going to write step 1. Or you could click on this little arrow right here, and you could type your text here. Step 2, step 3, and then if I click enter and add another bullet, it automatically updates and adds another step in there for me. So now I could go to step 4 and click this arrow again. And with SmartArt, like any other images and designs that we use, we could change the style. So you can make this have a little bubble to it. We could make this cube going sideways. We can make it a little more flat, diagonal. We got all these styles that comes with SmartArt. So let's just choose this style, and then we can also change our colors as well. So we could go colorful. We can choose our different accents, or we could recolor our pictures by ourselves in SmartArt. I'm just gonna go ahead and choose this colorful to change the steps. And here are a bunch of other different process layouts, so we could just hover over them. You can see that it gives you a live preview once again of how it will look without clicking on it. And these are all the process layouts that we have since we chose something from the process side. And this is pretty cool too. So here we go, we have an arrow behind it instead of arrow going to each one. You can also make this, you can make SmartArt by adding it after you typed everything you want. So let's go ahead and add a new slide, change our layout once again, and we're going to make this SmartArt 2, and we'll have 4 steps again. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. And this time we're going to go in our home tab, and since we have this section open, we're going to click convert to SmartArt, and we'll once again go to the different graphics that we have, or we could choose the same graphic that we already, let's just choose the same one of the graphics we've already used. So we'll go and use the same one, and we could get it to look exactly the same style that we had by typing in our things first, and then using the SmartArt convert to SmartArt in the home that we have in the home tab, where it just converts to SmartArt, and then you have the design in the SmartArt tools that will change the color. So when you're using SmartArt, you want to use the SmartArt tools design, not the regular tab design. And we can even change the title and convert that to SmartArt, and you can hover over it and just a bullet list, and now you have similar things. We're both using SmartArt. You can change the color, and we could change it around however you want to make your slide look good. Now everything's in SmartArt, not just your bulleted points, but also your title, and your page looks different, a lot better using SmartArt instead of just plain old text. And you can also use SmartArt with your design ideas as well. Well, not for this slide. But in other slides, when your information isn't all the way there, you can use design ideas. See right here, SmartArt has design ideas for us and all the different ways we can use this using our SmartArt. And that's how a quick view summary of how you use SmartArt and help your design. Your slides have more design and look more presentable than just boring old plain text. In this video, we're going to go over how to insert graphs and charts. So first things first, we're just going to start by creating a new slide, and we'll just title this Inserting Charts. And there's two ways that you could go about inserting a chart. As you can see, every time there's a blank box, there's these few different options. Insert table, insert chart, that's what we'll click on obviously for inserting a chart, SmartArt graphic, video, pictures, online pictures. So you could just click the insert chart right there, or you could go to, as we've been doing, the insert tab, and we're going to click on charts. And as you see, all these different type of charts pop up. We have our column charts, line charts, pie charts, bar charts, scatter plots, so on and so on. Basically every chart that you could build in Excel, you could have in your graph, and you can link this to Excel. So I'm just going to choose a pie chart, this donut pie chart. I like it. And as you can see, let me click on this Excel file. The Excel file pops up, and the Excel file is linked to our chart. So as we update our Excel file, so we have our first, second, third, and fourth quarters, as you can see, and the first quarter has our most cells. But we can make every quarter equal. So if we make everything equal to 5, you see that our pie chart has automatically updated since it's linked to our chart in PowerPoint. So we can get out of here. And you can have it anyway. You can make your chart whatever you want. You don't have to make everything equal. But once you exit out of your Excel chart, you could go over here, and this is where you can select your data and edit your data if need be. You can edit your data here in Excel once you have clicked out of Excel. But now we've built our chart, we've made everything equal. We could go ahead and we could change our colors. We can make colorful, monochromatic, using the colors that we have. Or we could completely change the way our design, our chart style. We can make some more sketch-like. This shows the percentage of each cell quarter, as well as the pie chart as well, just showing it. And as you can see, there's all these different designs. You click on here and it'll show all your designs, as always. I like this one because it shows you your percentage actually. And then you can also always click on here. You can add chart elements. You can add data labels, chart title if you don't like the sales title. We can add our legend where we have already, and it's at the right. If we want to move it, move to the left, the bottom, wherever we want. You could, as I said, edit your data. You can go ahead and select the data. If you need to change it, you want to change the way it looks. If you know about Excel and making graphs in Excel, then it will be easy. It's the same thing, and it automatically updates for you in PowerPoint, which is a great tool. And you have their quick layouts, you know, just in case you didn't feel like going over and doing everything. Then we go to our design, and we don't have any design ideas for this right here, but we could always change our background for our design, and it changes the colors as you see as well. So if we're tired of having that kind of brown and orange look, we could go with something more colorful, and we could just only apply it to the selected slide. And then we have options. We could keep going. We could keep going, change it. Now we have this red, and we go to design, and we could change our colors again. And you see our color options have completely changed. So now we have a completely new looking chart, a new design, more colorful, more eye-catching and eye-popping. You see a lot of these have, we could change our, if we went back to our design, we could change our background colors. But it's a quick way to build a nice looking graph. A quick graph is linked with Excel. If you know a lot about Excel, you know how powerful that is. And you can always keep your graph updated, changing, and you can put it right into your PowerPoint slide. So when you're giving a presentation, You have the charts, you have the graphs that look professional, and you could be confident when you're speaking about it. And that's how you insert graphs and charts. This video, we're going to be going over how to insert shapes into our slides. So let's go ahead and start out just by creating a new slide. And this time we're going to change our layout to a to content. And we're going to move this over just a little bit, give a little space between the two, and title this inserting shapes. Let's just go ahead and center that. And first step to insert shape is go to insert, and then next you will find the shape you want. So for now, let's just go ahead and go to insert. It's real simple. We have our shapes. So we click on shapes, and here are all the different types of shapes. You can use lines, rectangles, your basic shapes, their text box, a flowchart shape equation, your block arrow. So I'm going to use a block arrow to the right. And as you can see, once you choose your shape, your mouse turns into like a plus sign. So what you have to do, you have to click and you have to hold, and then you have to drag it out to build your shape to however you want it to look, whatever size you want, how long you want it to be, all of that. So once you build it, you let go, and then like everything else, you could go and change the style of it. So we can go through all the styles that we have. We could change our shape color, our shape fill. So if we don't want it to be orange, maybe I want it yellow to stand out, and I'll outline it with the orange, and then I could drag it and move it. So now you can tell I'm going to go to insert to find the shape you want, and click on it. You can edit the shape, and you can change your shape that we have. If you don't want that arrow doesn't look nice to you, you can go to your shape effects. You can add shadows, all of that, 3D rotation in case you want to make everything look 3D. You could, if you build more than one shape, as same thing with pictures, you could put one shape on top of another by bringing it forward or sending the other one backwards. And this is just a quick way to insert shapes. It's not hard, it's quite simple, and that's how you insert shapes. In this video, we'll be going over how to insert videos into our PowerPoint slide. So let's start by creating a new slide, and this first slide is going to be inserting videos from computer. So these will be inserting videos from our computer that we already have on there. And there are two different ways we could go about inserting the video. We could go to the insert tab and go to video and click on that, or we could just simply click on the insert video symbol right here. And as you can see, a few options pop up from where we can insert a video from. We could browse our computer and find a file from our computer. We could go to our cloud, and if we have any videos in there, we could search YouTube. And lastly, we could paste the embedded code, which is probably not the best way because you have YouTube, and you can just search YouTube instead of finding the embedded codes. You can also even go to Facebook if your Facebook is linked up to your computer and find videos from there. So for the first one, we're going to go from our file, and I have a time-lapse video. And of course, we have all the things you could outline, video styles that we have with every other image and media that we have. We can give it effects, give it a different shape if we please. But now I want to go to playback. So we have two different ways that we could start our video. We could start it automatically, so right when we're in our presentation, right when the page opens up, it starts automatically, or we could start it on click. For now, we're just going to leave it on click. And when it plays, do we want it to play full screen? When it's not playing, do we want it to hide until it plays? And then we can have it loop over until we click on it and to stop. And do we want it to rewind when it's done playing? So these are just a few options. So let's just go down here to our slideshow tab, click on slideshow, and let's go ahead and click on video. And as you see, that's just a quick way to play a video in the slideshow by adding it from your computer. Now let's go ahead and go back to our home tab, and we're gonna create another slide. And this time we're gonna take the slide from YouTube. So insert video from YouTube. And let's just go ahead and center that. And this time we'll go to the insert tab. We'll go down to video and we'll click online video, which is YouTube. And we can search YouTube for whatever video we want. So let's search YouTube for a funny home video. So funny from home. Just see what pops up. America's funniest home videos. So we click on that and then we click insert. And now we can resize it, make it to our liking, make it a little bigger, right there to our liking. And let's go to our playback and let's open this. We have to click for this one when it's YouTube. And how this works, so let's click on the slideshow. When you click on it, it will take you to the YouTube link automatically. And then when we click on it again, you get the YouTube link. And you could, of course, you could do everything you can on YouTube. You could full screen it, or full screen is unavailable actually right here. And we could adjust the volume. We could do it whatever we need to do. And let's just press escape to get out of there. Escape again. And that's just how you insert, two different ways to insert videos into your PowerPoint slide, whether you want to do it from your own computer or you want to do it from YouTube. That's just how we can insert our videos. And of course you can do embedded code if you want to. It's a little more complicated. Or if you have any videos in your drive, you can do that. And one last thing, I just want to show you what it would look like if you just had your video start automatically. So let's just go to the slideshow. And right away you can see the video start right when you open your slideshow. There's no clicking on it, no waiting. It just starts automatically. And then there, I clicked on the screen. It brought us to our next slide, which is our YouTube video. But see, if you start automatically, once you open to the page, and your slideshow just begins. And that might be better if you don't have anything to click on the screen, while all you have is a clicker. Maybe that's changing from slide to slide, but you don't have anything to actually click the video itself, and that might be better for some people. In this video, we'll be learning how to insert audio into one of our slides. So let's go ahead and go to one of our old slides instead of creating a new slide. And let's just see. Instead of using this smart art, we'll retitle this inserting audio. And step one is, let's just type it in this way. It's easier. Step one, click insert. Find audio. And then play the audio. And we'll just get rid of this fourth step. There goes that. I'm gonna get rid of this design ideas over here. So to insert audio, we're gonna go to insert, as I said, first step, and we're just gonna click on the audio. And there's two ways you can record your own audio if you please. You can make something for each slide. You record audio for each slide and just have it speak over each slide. Or what I'm going to do is go to audio on my PC, and I'm going to search my music, and I have a song right here. And you can move this, you can move the symbol around, you can move it so it's not really in the way. And of course we have our playback options. We have on click or automatically. then we could play it across all slides. So you could put this on the very first slide and just let this song play throughout your whole presentation. And that's good for if you just have straight pictures or words and you don't need to talk over it. You can just let something play over it, a song play, or you could loop it until it stops. So it'll just play until it stops over however many slides it goes. You could hide it during the show so this little icon doesn't pop up, and you can always rewind it after playing. So I'm gonna just start automatically, and then I'm going to go to click on the slideshow button to let. So as you can see, the inserting the audio worked perfectly. You can hear the song right when we open the slide because we have it playing automatically. We could change that to click on the same way we could with the videos. You could kind of edit a little bit, trim audio. You could fade it in for a certain number of seconds and fade it out at the end. However you want to do it, you could play around with it. But that's how you insert audio into a slide. In this video, we will be learning how to record our screen and how to embed that into our PowerPoint slide. So first, let's start off by creating a new PowerPoint slide. And we're going to title this slide Screen Recording. And let's go ahead and censor that. So now down here, we're going to go on to the Insert tab. And next, we're just going to go over here to the far right and click on Screen Recording. So it takes you to your home page, whatever you have that wasn't open, and it closes PowerPoint. So you could record whatever you want. So let's just go ahead and select the area. And let's just choose a nice chunk square for our area. It doesn't have to be the whole screen. And we have all these different apps. So let's just go back to our PowerPoint and let's just click on about inserting charts. So now, whenever I want to start recording my screen, I'm going to click on record. So record, and notice what you have to press to stop the recording. You have to press the Windows logo key, the shift key, and Q. You have to hold all three of those at the same time to stop the recording, which can be kind of hard. So here, as you can see, my screen's recording. I did this whole thing about inserting charts. We could go through to our different slides that we had. We can make it all pop up, whatever we need, and whatever you feel like you wanted to talk about. You could go online and show people how to do things online if you need to, and you could put that into your PowerPoint. You could go to a Word application, Excel application, whatever you feel that you need to show people by capturing on your screen. So now that we're done, we're going to hold on Windows key, Shift key, and Q. And as you can see, we go down to our screen recording, and it's automatically embedded right there into our slide. Everything that stopped recording. You have to press the Windows logo key, the Shift key, and Q. You have to hold all three of those at the same time to stop through my screen. We could click through this, pop up to talk about. And you can see that it just recorded everything that I had just did inside of what we were recording in our selected area. So that's a great tool, and of course we could do everything that we did with our other videos. We could change the style, the border, the effect. We can make it play automatically when we turn it to this page in a slideshow. We could hide it while it's not playing, and we could do all those type of things that we could do with any other video that we've learned in our earlier videos. But this is how you capture a screen recording, and this is how it embeds into your PowerPoint slide, and it's a great tool if you want to show people maybe how you do something in another application and put it into your PowerPoint slide while you're giving the presentation. In this video, we'll be going over how to use transitions. So at the top, as you can see, there's the transition tab. We'll click on that, and this just tells you how you're going to transition from slide to slide. So the default is none. That's your default transition. So let's go here and click on the slideshow. And as you can see, when we go to the next slide, after clicking the right arrow, it just pops up the next screen. So let's go to escape. But there are certain transitions like this push transition. As you can see, it will slide in, and we'll give it for these. So now let's go back here, and we'll go to the slideshow, and you can see that's how the new transition is. It's going to slide up. And that's an interesting transition, slide up. You don't want to overdo your transitions. You don't want it to be crazy. And you don't have to have the same transition for everyone. So we can have the push, white, and then split. And let's just see how that looks. So once again, we'll click on the slideshow button. The first one slides up, the next one slides in, and the last one splits out. So as you can see, there's a lot of interesting transitions here going on. And we'll just once again get rid of all of these. But in the new PowerPoint, there's also this new transition called morph, which is only for PowerPoint 2016, so you must have the updated version. And what's cool about this is it morphs into the next slide. So if you duplicate a slide, so let's go ahead and we're going to right click on this slide and then select duplicate slide. And in our first one, we are going to get rid of these last two steps. So step 3 and step 4. So now we just have 2 steps. And here we have 4 steps. And we're going to click on the morph transition. So let's go ahead and click on the slideshow button. And then we'll click the right arrow to the next. And as you can see, it morphs into the next slide. Everything else stays the same except the 2 things that were changed. And it's a very cool feature. It makes it look like you're on the same slide still. And maybe you could do one for each step. So you're talking about step 1 at first, and then you'll click it and it'll go to the next one, and it'll morph in just to step 2. Then you can do step 3, step 4 as you're talking about it without looking like your whole slide is changing out completely. It just looks like a few things on your slide are changing. That is a very cool feature, of course. And of course, as always with our transitions and everything else, there's many options, and you could go through them on your own. And you can always click on this button to see all the different options. We have our subtle options, and then we have our exciting options, which will be very in your face, big and noticeable. And then there's the dynamic content as well. So you can always click on them, see what they're like, mess around with them, see what you like for your presentation, depending on the presentation that you're giving. You could give your slide transition a sound. So when you're changing slides, it will make a sound. You can have a drum roll effect if it's maybe your final slide and you're introducing a winner. You can have a drum roll effect. You can have the duration of how long the transition lasts. You can make it last 5 seconds, 10 seconds, very long, suspenseful. You can make it very quick. And then we also have the effect options of the objects, the words, and the characters. And you can just hover over it, and this will just move the individual letters, the whole word, or the whole object when you're using these transitions. But this is how I use PowerPoint transitions. So maybe you don't just want the same dual transition over and over again of it just going from one side to the other. You want to have some more, some kind of animations, some slide-ins, some effects, maybe some sound too. And this will just help make your presentation a little less dull and a little more entertaining. In this video, we're going to go over how to use animations. So let's first start with creating a new slide. We'll just do our title and content, title it animations, and then we'll just put a few things down here. So click on animations tab, choose an object, and then choose type of animation. So now we're going to just go over how animations work. So let's just click on the animations tab as I said, and we'll click on this object and get rid of this design ideas over here. So we're just going to choose animations, and we can choose for it to appear. And as you can see, these numbers pop up. You have 1, 2, and 3 that pop up, and this shows the order of our animations that we're going to see. So let's go down here and we could preview it. So when I press the right arrow, only one by one comes up. And as you can see, those are our 3 animations. And there are many animations we can choose from. If that's not the one we like, we can choose for it to fade in, fly in, split in, whatever. And of course, we have a bunch of options of how to do it, of how they want to come in, and they can also exit out as well. So those are just our animation options. And what else we can do is we could go over here to animation pane, and this lets us know more about our animations, lets us be able to do more in-depth things with our animation. So let's go over here and just click to expand our content. So as you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, and we could go over here and click on this little arrow at the end of our first one, and we could choose if we want to start on the click, start with the previous or after previous. We could give it options and timing. So let's make our second one start with the previous, and what that means is this is going to show up the same time as our first one shows up. And as you can see, the numbers have changed. It's only 1 and 2. Over here you can see 1, 1, and 2. So let's go ahead and we'll just preview it. So click our right arrow, and as you can see, they both pop up together at the same time. And we click the right arrow again, and then here comes our last part. So what we can also do, you can also add in pictures. So let's go ahead and insert a picture, and we'll just insert some pictures we've already used before. No design ideas right now. And what we could do with our animations is, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, and maybe we want to add our picture in the animation. So right now our picture already shows up because it's not an animation, it's part of the slide, but maybe you don't want it to show up in the beginning. So we'll click on our animations tab, and what we'll do next is, since we have our pictures highlighted, we'll just click add animation, and we'll just give it to appear as well. So now this is going to appear at the end, but maybe we don't want it to appear at the end. Maybe we want it to appear with the previous one, so we can start with previous. And let's go ahead and preview this. So now our picture shows up in the middle of the slide instead of at the beginning when the slide first starts. You see it shows up in part of the animation. And maybe you have some things that are out of order. You don't want them to show up in that order. You can simply just highlight what you want, and we could drag it over. So just click, and then you could drag in between any option. So now the picture is going to show up in the very beginning. And let's just go here back to our animation, and now our picture is moved over with the very first group, and then this pops up. So there goes that. Now let's go to using smart art with our animation. So let's click on this one, and let's quickly create a duplicate slide of this, and we'll just take away our morph transition. We don't want any transition, and we're going to go to animations. So when we click on this in our section and click on animation, we'll click appear, and as you can see, everything shows up as only one animation. They're all together. So we can see here it all pops up together, and with smart art, since they are together, it will pop up like that until we have to do some things of our own. And what we have to do is we'll go to our effect options, and we're going to go one by one. And now you can see our smart art has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. So our first step is this top part, and then we can always open up our content as well. So maybe we don't want the maybe we just want the placeholder to already be there, so we'll remove that out of our animation. So now we only have the next 4 steps in our animation. Or let's go back here, animation, and we're going to make this appear, effect options one by one. And let's go back to our animation pane and just open this up. So we're going to remove the top part, and now we just have these next 4 animations because we want our title to appear when we start. So let's view the preview now. So now you can see step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4 all show up separately. And that's the way you have to do it with smart art. If not, it will just show up as one all at a time, because smart art is actually technically one piece together. But if you go by one, after going through the animation effects options, you can make them show up one by one. You could give them all different animations as well. They don't all have to be the same animation. You can just click over here and you can use your effects options, and we can make it however you want to make them appear. But this is how you use animations within a slide. It will make everything pop up at different times. You can have it appear, like I said, slide in, pop in. But this is great just if you don't want to have everything up on the slide already. Maybe you want people that you're presenting to focus on one thing at a time. And if you put all things up there, they might start reading through everything instead of focusing on what's on the screen. So you can control what they're focusing on while you're presenting. You don't want to give them too much text. You'll just give them one piece by one piece. And that's how you use animations. In this video, we're going to learn how to do advanced animations and grouping. With advanced animation grouping, you'll be able to do something like this. So let me just give you a preview. By clicking each arrow, you'll have a building block with the words over it, and these are our foundation to what we think an important life might be. So family, home, and health at the bottom, and money and friends to support yourself and success in whatever you're doing is the top of our building blocks, our pyramid. But you need the family, home, and health to support everything else. So let me show you how to build something like this. So let's go ahead and just start a new slide. We'll just start it with the title only, and we'll call this the building blocks. And we'll go ahead and center it, because I like to center things. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and insert an online picture. So let's find a single block and look for that. And here it goes. We're going to use this block, and we're going to make it a little bit bigger. And they have these design ideas, but for now we're not going to use any. So let's just make that a little bit bigger. And the next thing that we're going to go to is our text box. So we're going to try to make this about the size of the block, maybe a little wider. And we're going to type in family, start out with. That was the first thing I thought was most important in maybe your life. And then we could click on the 4 arrows and kind of center this a little bit and make it look like it belongs on this block. So the next thing we're going to do is going to click on family, and we're going to click on the box, and we're going to go over here to format in our drawing tools. And over here where it says group, we're going to group these objects together. So now we're going to click on group. So now when I move it around, as you can see, it moves around together as one thing. It's not a text box and then the blocks. It's all of it together as one. So next we're going to hold this, and we're going to press Control C to copy, and then we're going to press Control V to paste. And we're just going to do that a few times. We need about 6 blocks. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one more. And now we're going to build our blocks. So let's start by putting these together. And some blocks will have to be in front, some will be in the back. It just depends on how this all, how you want it. And let's say we have this out of order where the blocks aren't supposed to, we can always use send forward or send back. So let's just go ahead and try to build this evenly, line everything up. And you see this last block is in the back. So what we're going to do, we're going to right click on it, and we're going to click on this bring to front. And now we could put that right on the top. So the next thing we could do is we could go over here to our home. Or actually, no, we're going to go to our picture tools. or our drawing tools, and we can change the color. Here we go in our picture tools. We can change the color of our block. So every block doesn't have to look exactly like if you don't want to. So let's click on the box, just the box, and we'll go to our picture tools again and click on our color. Let's just make all these boxes have different colors so it doesn't look so monochromatic. And of course we have more colors that we can always choose from, but it's kind of just nice to just choose from the same color theme that we already have going on over here with the faded kind of wash look. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go and replace the text on every box to what we feel like we need. So I had family, a home, and your health. Those are your foundation for a happy life. Then we have friends and some money, and then on top will equal success. And we could widen this out just a little bit to make sure success fits, and then we can move it over, and now we have our building blocks. So the next thing to do is to create the animation. So one by one we're going to go to animation, and we're just going to click simply add animation, and we can make it appear however we want. So let's make it fade, each one fade in. I think that would be kind of interesting. And you can go whatever order you want. I'm just going to go from bottom to top. Animation, add animation, fade, animation, and animation, fade. Alright, so now we've added the animations to all 6 of the blocks. So let's go ahead and just do a quick preview and see what it looks like. So click the right arrow, you can see the family pops up, fades in, then home, then health, friends, money, and success. So that was a quick way to use grouping and advanced animations, and it allowed us to build these building blocks, a kind of a pyramid. And as you can see, this is a cool, interesting way to bring some life into your PowerPoint presentation instead of just being flat text and flat pictures and nothing really moving, happening. You just talking. It brings some interesting elements in life to it. Of course, we could same thing with any animation. We could start on click. We could have it start with the previous. Maybe you want your bottom 3 to all start together just as your foundation. Maybe none of them are more important to you. And then we could have the second row start together. So now there's only 3. So there goes your bottom row, all comes together, and you can say this is your foundation. Then we have our next row, and then we have our last on top, which leads to success. And I want to show you guys another type of animation or grouping that you can do with puzzle pieces, which I think it's kind of cool and interesting. So let's go ahead and start a new slide, title only, and we'll title this puzzle pieces. And of course, you know, I like to center everything, so let's go ahead and center this. And now we're gonna insert a picture from online. Let's just type puzzle piece. So as you see, there's plenty of puzzle pieces to choose from. You can choose a group like this, but unfortunately in PowerPoint you can't ungroup them. They're all 4 are always going to be together. But I'm going to show you something kind of cool where you can make your own puzzle pieces and fit together just by choosing one that might have multiple sides to it. So let's choose, that's a little big. I'm trying to see one that's not so big. Actually, it doesn't matter. Let's just choose this puzzle piece, unclick this, and we'll insert it. She shows up a little bit big, but that's okay. Get rid of these design ideas. And we're just gonna downsize it a little bit. So now we can see how everything fits together. We can make these puzzle pieces fit together. Of course, we could write on it whatever we want to write. We could just add a little text box, and team. This is a team, and we're trying to make everything fit together, let's say, as one team. So what we have to do is control click both of them format, and we're going to group them. And then next thing we're going to do is going to hit control C to copy and control V to paste. And now we're going to move it, and you can see the piece fits in perfectly. And we're going to move it again, and we're going to create another one, but this time we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, and we're going to try to fit this piece in perfectly. You see there's a little bit of overlap, so I think what we should do is send this to the back, and it looks like it fits in a little bit better. And let's just hit control V a couple more times, or actually let's undo that, and let's click on this last one we did and hit control C to copy that and then paste, so it's already in that direction. And you can see there's a couple pieces kind of missing. It doesn't fit in fully, but it's still interlocking. And if you find a puzzle piece that maybe has a bottom and a top, it will fit in more completely. And then of course we could go click one by one, and we could maybe change the title, what builds a team. Maybe our whole thing is you have to fit into the puzzle. Every person is one piece of a greater goal, and you can label each goal what you have. And then of course we could go ahead and just add it to the animation. So let's try something different. Let's try bouncing, just to see what that looks like. And you see that's interesting. It's an interesting way, and we'll just keep doing that. Add our animation, bounce, and animation, bounce, and animation, add it, bounce, and we'll do that one more time. We'll add this animation and just bounce. And now let's go ahead and just preview it, what it will look like. And while you're talking, like I said, it brings a little life into your presentation. It doesn't look as dull and as boring. You see, it looks like they're perfectly fitting in together. Whatever you're talking about, you could find a way to fit it in. And I just think using these grouping, you could label each block, each puzzle piece, whatever idea that you have with it. You can add the animation, you can add a picture from online and put it all together. And like I said, it brings life to your PowerPoint presentation, so it's not dull. You're not just sitting there talking with the still screen behind you. You have moving parts, you have some color, you're adding all kinds of things to make your presentation a little bit more engaging, and will make you seem like a little bit more exciting while you are talking. In this video, we're going to be going over quick styles, which is a great way to use designs that come with PowerPoint to quickly design a new slide. And you can also use this with the Slide Master to update multiple slides. So I'm going to show you how to use this with Slide Master. So we're going to go back to the View tab, and remember, Slide Master is over here in Master Views. And we're going to go to the Home tab, and we're going to click in this section right here. We're going to go to Quick Styles. And as you can see, it shows you these live previews of how it will look after using quick styles. So I think I'm going to choose this style right here, and then I'm going to go back to Slide Master, and I'm going to close the master view. And now you can see all the slides that we have this title that look just like this. They look all the same, they're similar, and it's because they all have the same format that they come up that way. And it's a great tool to quickly update multiple slides while giving it a quick style without having to go in there and make your own shapes and do it by type by type and little piece by little piece. You can just quickly do that. You don't have to make the shape and fill with the color. That could be very time consuming, and a lot of times you don't want to spend too much time making a PowerPoint presentation, and PowerPoint has already great presets in it that are there for your disposal, so you should use them always. And that's just quickly how you use quick styles, and it's a great way to use it with the Slide Master to quickly update multiple slides with a nice unique build. In this video, we'll be going over how to record your presentation through PowerPoint. And you might want to do this, let's say you want to send your presentation in ahead of time. So you record it, you record all your voiceovers, each slide, and then you can send it to your work, your boss, your professor, whoever, and maybe they could give you feedback before you present, or maybe you just can't show up during the day or during that time period. And you could send in this already presented PowerPoint and you can still put it up there and people will still get the same feel of it. So let's just start and show you how to do this. We'll click on the slideshow tab at the top and then we're going to go right here to record slideshow. So you see there's a couple options that we have. We could record from the beginning or the current slide. Right now I'm just going to start from the current slide. So once we click on record slideshow, you see this whole new user interface pops up. And up here we have the record button, the stop button, and the play button for playing our preview. And then down here we have some other tools as well. We have this pen tool, and as you see we could draw on our slides. Maybe you want to point something out. We also have a highlighter tool in case you want to highlight anything. And there's also this eraser tool. You just click on the lines and it will delete that as well. So that's a powerful tool just in case while you're presenting you want to write on it, you want to maybe do some formulas if you're presenting something with math. And now let's click on the record button and just show you how it works. So we get the countdown, and then yes, it does pick up your videos throughout your recording. It picks up everything I'm saying right now. Down here we have the microphone's recording. We have the video. You could turn the camera onto yourself if you want to, and you can see yourself in the bottom right corner speaking while your show is presenting. Let's go to the next slide. It picks up any animations you may have, your other recordings, and it will pick up what your recordings are saying. And then once again we have these advanced animations, and it's picking up all of our animations. And maybe we want to highlight this bottom, so you can click highlighter as well, and you see it doesn't go over. You can highlight the bottom if we want to talk about it, maybe say how this is our foundation, and we could build an arrow pointing to this section and how important it is to us. Whatever you need to do maybe while you're presenting. Then we have our next slide, the building blocks, so on and so on. We also have the puzzle pieces, our last slide. And let me just quickly get through this. And once you get to your last slide and you click on the next slide, it will get there. And then when you get to your last slide, it will automatically stop the recording because it knows it's at your last slide. So now all we have to do, as you can see in the bottom right corner, that we have our audio signal, and this is the audio that we just spoke. So let me go to preview and you'll hear the slideshow play back. And then yes, it does pick up your videos throughout your recording. It picks up everything I'm saying right now. Down here we have the microphone's recording. We have the video. You could turn the camera onto yourself if you want to, and you can see yourself in the bottom right corner speaking while your show is presenting. Let's go to the next slide. It picks up any animations you may have, your other recordings. So as you can see, and this automatically goes through your slideshow. I didn't have to press to the next screen. It automatically went to the next screen for me and just continued me talking over the slides. So this is a great tool to do a presentation without actually having to be there. In this video, we'll be going over how to create a photo album in PowerPoint. We've already learned how to insert pictures, so you just go to insert and pictures. But as you see, the pictures only come up. You have to click on them one by one. You can't insert them all together in one big drop. And that could get a little time consuming. So if you have a photo album, let's say that you want to just insert with a bunch of pictures and create a slideshow for it, you could go right here to the photo album tab, just click on new photo album. And now we're going to go to insert from and click on a file or disk. And I already have my photo album open, so now I could just click on Control A and I selected all the pictures. So I'm going to click on insert, and as you can see, all of these 6 pictures I have come up. And I can choose if I want them black or white. I can add text box if I want to insert text underneath my pictures. So after you create your photo album, you can click a text box on the slide and type your own text if that's what you want to do. But I'm not going to do that right now. And then we also have a picture layout where we can fit it to the slide. We can have one picture per slide, two pictures, four pictures, or one picture with titles. It's a bunch of different layouts you can use. And then we can add a theme if you want to. You can just go ahead and click on browse and look through themes. And then when we're done, we just hit create. And as you can see, it already created a photo album for me. And then I have these design ideas as well. So I go through our design ideas, do something interesting, different if I want. I'm just going to go ahead with this first one that they have for me. And then we're going to go through the next one. As you can see, all of my pictures were automatically uploaded. I could always resize them. I could have just put one to the slide, two to the slide. I could add text if I wanted to. And then let's just go into the view. So now as you can see, it comes up. And if I want to, I can insert music in this first slide. And I could use rehearsed timings and have it play through the end of the photo album. And to do that, just refer back to videos that we've done in the past on those topics, how to insert audio and how to use rehearsed timings. And that's how you just create a quick photo album in PowerPoint. It's very easy and very simple, and it's a time saver if you do it that way rather than inserting pictures one by one on PowerPoint. In this video, we'll be going over how to send your PowerPoint out in email and also how to share it to your cloud. So we're going to go up here to the File tab at the top. And as you can see, we have all these options. And we're going to go to the Share tab. And on the Share tab, as you see, we can share with people, so you can save it to your cloud. Or if you have a OneDrive location that you have, you could just save it there. And it's up there. You don't have to save it on your computer, which is great. And then we could also email it, and we have a few ways we could email it. We could send it as an attachment with your email, but with this you must have Microsoft Outlook on your computer downloaded and installed, and it's going to go through that email system. You can also send it as an Adobe PDF. So if you have Adobe PDF attachment, you can use that, or you can just send it as a regular PDF attachment, and if you do that, it will convert it into a PDF for you already. And sending it as a PDF is a great tool because it keeps the formatting clean. You don't have to worry about things getting moved around. When you're sending it in an email, sometimes your formatting gets off. So if you save it as a PDF file, it'll be locked in that way, and that's great. So your content won't be changed, and your layouts and formatting will all be preserved pretty greatly. And as we scroll down, you can send it as an XPS attachment, or you can always fax it. You could just send it to an internet faxing. And then we also have the option here to present it online. So maybe you want to present online in a webinar that you're having while you're doing a presentation. You can put it up there, and that is great. You do have to have a Microsoft account to start the presentation online. And then lastly, over here, we can publish our slides to a slide library or a SharePoint where many people can view it. They can make changes as well, and then you can see you'll receive emails when these changes are being made. And then also you can send it to Adobe PDF for shared commenting, where other people can put comments onto your PDF file, give you feedback, and that's also a great option. And over here we have the option to save it as a Adobe PDF file, so you could just save it as a PDF file. And then we also could just go to save as, and you can look into the different type of files right here. And as you can see, you can save it as a PDF file just in your save as options. And like I said, PDF, when you're done with your presentation, you probably want to save it into a PDF file if you're going to be emailing it out or printing it out somewhere, just so because the formatting will be preserved a lot better. It won't get as messed up. Maybe when formatting with PowerPoint, sometimes the words shift, your format shift, your font changes around, and it's not, your slides don't come out as you had built them on the computer, but when you save it into PDF, it will be saved exactly that way. So saving as PDF, I think, is a great tool to use and a great resource. And those are some ways just to quickly share and save, and how to save your content in a great way to keep the formatting nice and clean. In this video, we're going to be going over how to use notes in PowerPoint and how that can help you along with your presentation and printing them out for each slide. So as you can see, I've already written a couple notes. Normally these notes don't pop up. Your slide will look like this, and you want to click on this notes tab at the bottom, and this notes thing will pop up. And the notes can be formatted too. So if you have something very important, you might want to bold it just like that. You could change the font size if you need to. You can add bullet points, whatever helps you look at it better when you're reading your notes or going over your notes. And then after that, the next thing we could go ahead and do is print out our notes. So we'll go to our files and print. And you see it looks like it's just printing the regular page. So instead of printing the full page, we'll go to the notes page. And as you can see, here goes our notes at the bottom. And each page is going to be printed one slide per page with his notes. It's not going to be multiple pages going on. But this is a great way for you to just print them out and study your slides. You can study what you need to say for each slide instead of having a piece of paper and having to look up at the screen while you're studying. You just have it all in one place. You can study on the go. It makes it very easy to go over your slides. And another cool thing about notes that we can use is during our slideshow, we can use the presenter view. And what this will allow you to do is look at your notes while you're presenting, and you can choose on what monitor you want to use it. So while you're presenting, we'll have the notes, and the people won't be able to see it if you're hooked up to a projector, let's say. They'll only see the slide while you'll see your notes next to your slide. But you have to have the updated windows to do this, or it might not work. But this is a great tool to be able to look at your notes while you're presenting without anybody else being able to see them. So it gives you a little bit of confidence, and it doesn't look like you're looking down at a piece of paper. Maybe you're on a tablet, which would be great if you're using a tablet and streaming it on a projector somehow, and that would be a great tool. In this video, we're going to go over how to use the Slide Master, which is a tool that allows you to update multiple slides at one time without going into them individually one by one, which is a great tool. Just maybe you want to put a logo in your bottom corner, or there's a certain style you want for all your slides to have, but you don't want to go and do them individually. You could do it all at once just by using Slide Master. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate a couple of these slides just so we have multiple of the same layout slides. So duplicate and duplicate. So now we have 3 of the slides. And now to use Slide Master, we're going to go up to the top tab and click on View. And right here you see we have the Slide Master view. So we're going to click on the Slide Master. And now you see this whole different layout comes, and this is our the layout that I was just on, where we have our title and our content. And in here we could go here and edit our style. So let's say we want to go into home. Let's click down here. We want to go to home. We could change our bullet and numbering color for let's say to white, and now okay. And we could do it for every level as well. Just go here and just change the bullets and numbering to white for all the levels. And when I did in this slide, let's exit the Slide Master view. So let's just go back to our regular view. You can see all 3 of these slides with this style have been changed with the white arrows now. But with Slide Master, as you can see, we go up that this was a different layout. This layout had 2 different content slides. So Slide Master will only update the slides with the same layout. So this was the title, and then we had our content. and Slide Master will only allow you to update all the slides that have the same style. So if we wanted to go ahead and update a different kind of slide, so maybe we only have one slide for our very first title slide, that wouldn't be a great idea to use Slide Master for. You would want to just go and update that because you only have one of those types of slide. But Slide Master allows you to update multiple slides with the same slide format, and that's great because if you're giving a presentation and you just go through the basic formatting with title and bullet points, and at the end you're like, oh, I need to add something to all of them, you could quickly go use Slide Master and it'll update all your slides. In this video, we'll be going over how to use rehearse timings in PowerPoint. It's a great tool to set up your slideshow and practice out your timing. Let's say you want to put music throughout your PowerPoint slide. You don't need to narrate it all. You could go through rehearse your timing and then you can set up a slideshow through that. So let me just show you how. We'll click on slideshow, and right here we have rehearse timings. And like I said, you could practice this and not your actual presentation, and it just shows you how much time for one you're spending on each slide, and then you can automatically run the show from it. So as you can see up here at the top, it's showing how long I'm on this slide, and then when I go to the next, shows how long I'm on this slide, but also shows how long the timing's been recording. And let me just go through a few slides right now. And as you can see, it just shows restarts every time how much time's been on this slide, but it's not picking up any of my narration right now. But if I had music playing, if I put a music in the first slide and just told it to play until the end, it will pick up my music perfectly until this slide. And then when I'm done, I could just hit escape, and then I'll just say yes. So my time was 39 seconds. And then we'll use our timings, and now we can set up a slideshow, and we can loop it continuously until I hit escape. And it use timings if present, it automatically does that. We'll click OK, and now we'll just go to the presenter view. And as you can see, it's automatically moving. I didn't have to press anything. These slides are going from slide to slide without me having to press anything. And it's really just going over my slide that the timing I just did. It's set up and it shows you your timing, how you're moving. And now I'm just gonna escape out of it. So you get to rehearse your timing, you get to see how it looked without it being an actual your complete slideshow. And it just helps you if you're on a limit as well. Maybe you're in a group presentation, you only have 3 minutes to talk, you could spend 20 seconds on each slide and you could really work on it. Or maybe some slides need to be longer than the other. But this is just a great way to see how long you're taking on each slide and see how long you're taking overall on presenting. And then just to clear everything, you just go to clear and you clear timing on all slides, and then you'll be back with no timings or anything, and your slides won't automatically present the next time you go to the slideshow view. In this video, we're going to be going over how to use templates with PowerPoint. So not only can you use templates to design your slide, you can also use the templates that they have to design your whole presentation. So since we're already in PowerPoint, we're going to go to File, and then we're going to go to New. And as you can see, there's all these templates that PowerPoint already has. But then there's also this suggested searches button. So we could go here and click on any one of these. So let's click on education to start out with. And now it shows all the education slides that they have. So I can make a certificate of achievement. Say I'm a teacher and I want to make certificates. It already has your certificate right here. You could just add the name of your recipient who won a certificate and then the title of the presenter. And that's a quick way to have certificates already made. You could do this through PowerPoint, and we could just keep duplicating the slides for however many certificates we might want to give out, and just type in the student's name, and you have all these certificates you could print out and give to your students that you didn't even have to design or anything. They're already there for you in PowerPoint. Now let's go back and let's go to another new one. So that was for a certificate. Let's go to a business suggested search. And here on the side, I want to show you they also have categories within your search. So you might want to have business cards, a sales, a marketing, design sets. So let's go with a sales strategy proposal. And I double clicked on that. And here you can see that this template already has a whole layout for you, has an outline. So you could follow the template as it is. So you'll have your executive summary in your second slide. You could have the concept, the opportunity, and potential, what we'll cover. So it already lays out for you how your presentation will go from the beginning to the end. And you don't have to do much of the planning or designing. All you have to do is go and fill in all your content, put in your bullet points, what you want to say, and your design is already taken care of. And we'll go back to file and go back to these templates. What we could also do is type in what we want to look for. So I'm going to type in sales, and let's look at this business sales and presentation. So you just double click on that, and once again we have a template that already has everything laid out for what you might want to say, how it should go, and it tells you, as you can see, briefly introduce yourself and your colleagues. So right here you'll just go ahead and delete. You'll write I am, and I'm trying Chris Ivory, and we are Think Tank Career. And that's how you could just go in and fill it out just like that. You can give examples, and as you can see, they already have designs built into here. They have graphs built into the templates, more graphs, more charts if you need to, benchmarking charts. So this is a great tool if you're really on short time and you don't want to spend any time at all designing. You could just go through the templates, find something that looks good for what you need to, what type of presentation you need to give, and you could just go in and fill in all the content, and you'll quickly have yourself a PowerPoint presentation. And this might be one of the quickest ways to put together a nice looking presentation as well. As you can see, this is a well put together presentation. It doesn't have all the animations and maybe graphics that you might want, but if you're on short time and you need to put together something quick, this is a great option just to go into the templates that PowerPoint already offers you. And they offer thousands of different templates. If you go through all of them, depending on your situation, just type in your keyword of what you're looking for, what type of presentation you want to give, and there you go. You can have it in just a matter of seconds. You could create it. If you don't like it, you could just keep going through all the templates and that keyword search that you use. So once again, I think this is a great tool for people that are short on time. In this video, we're going to learn how to create a custom slideshow with PowerPoint. So to go ahead and do that, let's just start and make a new slide to go over some of the points. So new slide, title and content, creating custom slideshow. First things first, we'll click on the slideshow tab, and then we'll click on custom slideshow. After that, we'll add the slides we want. So let's go ahead and do it. So we'll click on slideshow, and right here you see we have this custom slideshow. So we'll click on the drop down menu and we'll create custom shows. And we'll go ahead and create a new show. We'll just call it custom show 1 for now. Simple. And you can click whatever slides you want. You don't have to choose them all. Just click on a few slides right now. This is not a real slideshow, but I'm just clicking on some slides. And then we can add it, and we'll click OK. And let's just close that. And we'll create another one as well. So custom show 2. Once again, we're just clicking on any random slides for right now, just to show you how this works. And we could go ahead and close this. So this is a great tool in case you're maybe don't want to present your whole slideshow. It's just certain parts you might want to go over with somebody. maybe you're in a big group and you want to just take your slides and give your slideshow presentation without showing or skipping through all of their slides. So after you create this custom slideshow, once again we have this drop down menu, and you see we have the option to choose from the custom shows we just made. So once I click on one, it gives me the custom slideshow I just made. And as you see, I only have the slides I just put in. It's not the entire slideshow. These are just the slides I just chose. And then it will keep looping over and over again the custom slideshow that you have created until you click escape to get out of there. But that's how you use the custom slideshow. You choose the slides you want to put into your slideshow. You could of course use rehearsed timings if you want to just go ahead and create a custom slideshow with a few slides and have yourself speaking over it, or you can add music, whatever you might want to use to go with your custom slideshow. But this is a great way when you don't want to present your entire presentation. You just want to present a certain part. Maybe you have it broken down to sections and you just want to present two sections or one section and you don't need to go over the entire thing. This is a great tool just to break it down a little quicker, a little faster, and give it a shorter presentation instead of a full length presentation. In this video, we're going to learn how to insert screenshots into PowerPoint. So first off, let's just start. I'm going to create a new slide, just outlining what we need to do. So inserting screenshots. And first things first, we're going to click on the insert tab. Then after that, we're going to click on the screenshot tab. And finally, we're going to create a screenshot. So let's go ahead and click on this insert tab. And right here where it says take a screenshot, we're going to click on this in the drop down menu. Then you see we have the screen clipping option. So all that is it gives us an option of taking a screenshot of our screen. So there you go. Now I can size it however I want, and I can move it over, or we could use that as our background. I think that's pretty neat, taking a screenshot of my page and design ideas, just took that and put it as my background. And we could also, take it a little farther. We could add glows, add frames, double frame, picture effects. Same thing we always could do with any picture and image that we add. We could always design it a little bit. And we could always insert some more text box over here if you need to point anything out. Or you can insert shapes. Maybe you want to highlight something that was on your screen, or maybe you just want to make something stand out. So we can make this shape, and what we'll do with the shape is we'll get rid of the fill. So we'll have no fill, and we could give the shape a red outline. And now we outline something that we think might be important. And maybe on your screen, when you take a screenshot, you're taking a screenshot of a picture and you want to point out certain things, so you can use the shapes, take away the fill, give it an outline, and you could really highlight that section of where you want people's attention to be drawn to. And I think that's another great tool that PowerPoint offers us. And you can use this to your effect. You could, like I said, taking screenshots. There's plenty of reasons you might want to take a shot of your screen. Maybe you just need to save something. You need to download it into your images. But this is a great tool that PowerPoint has, inserting screenshots into your slides. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the Tell Me feature that comes with PowerPoint. So right here at the top, you see this little light bulb and it says, tell me what you want to do. So the shortcut to this will just be pressing Alt and Q together, or you can just go up here and click. And you see it already has a few suggestions of what you might want to do, and some suggestions of what you might want to search for. So we can search for anything that you want PowerPoint to help you with. So I'm gonna just type in design ideas. Here we go. Something that we've already been over. And you see, if I had not already used the design ideas for this slide, it might have some ideas. But you see, I typed in design ideas and here it goes, design ideas on the right side. It's doing it for us. You don't have to search for design. You just tell PowerPoint that you wanted to use design ideas and it will do it for you. And you can do many other things with it. Like I said, it already has change slide background, and right here it shows us where we could format the background or we could get help on it if we don't understand it. And it just does it for you. Tell it what you want to do instead of having to go through all these tabs and you're not sure exactly where something may be. You just type it in. What do you want to do? What is it that you want to do with PowerPoint? And it will just bring down the drop down box and the options, and it will do it right there for you. You click on what you need to click on, and there you go. It will make what you want to happen. And that's a great feature of PowerPoint, I think. Just tell it what you want to do and it will do it for you. In this video, we're going to be learning how to change our themes, our office theme for PowerPoint. So as you see, we have this reddish orange kind of color at the top. Maybe you don't really like this color theme, so we're going to File, and then we'll go over here to Options. And as you can see, we have the office theme right here, and it's colorful, and we can switch that to dark gray. Just click on OK, and you see how it changed. It gives it a whole new look and feel, more sleek feel, I might say. It's not as colorful with the white and the reddish orange, but gives it a different look and feel. Or let's look at another option. We could go to white. Let's see how white looks. White, how it looks is just very white, like it says. There's not much color going on. I don't like that personally. It's a little dull to me. And then of course we have black. And black to me is very similar to dark gray, just a little bit darker. And then you can see we have these kind of circle and line kind of designs going on. So we could go back here to our options tab and we could change the office background. We could add clouds instead. So now you see we have these clouds at the top going through. Let's go back, and you see we have a bunch of different options really that we could use. Geometry, doodle diamonds, doodle circles, calligraphy, tree rings, underwater, stars. Let's just go with geometry. And then you could right here for you could put your username in, your initials, and you can always use this. You can click on this box and it'll always use this whenever you sign in to your office. And then we can show our mini toolbars. We can enable the live preview, which we'll use a lot, or we could disable that. We could take away the mini toolbar that we have at the top. Maybe that's annoying you to see. It's taking up too much space. I don't know, but whatever kind of you like. We could go ahead and customize the ribbon. We can add new things into our ribbon that might not already be there in the main ribbon. You know, here it has choose from commands, popular commands, things that people use most often, and you could add that into your main tab, your ribbon right there on the top if you like. So you can really customize how your office design and theme looks with PowerPoint. You don't have to have the basic look and feel that they give you. You could tailor it to your desire and how you would like to use it. So I'm just going to click on OK. The geometry, I think the geometry is kind of cool. It's got these nice little different shapes and figures with the black feel. And I kind of like this a little more than the colorful feel because it gives everything, even though it's black, it just kind of encompasses everything that's going on around here and really puts focus, I think, on your presentation. So we are at the end of our PowerPoint tutorial. Now I'd like to thank you guys for sticking it out and making it this far. Now I'd like to just give you a few guidelines on how to effectively use PowerPoint. So first things first, why use PowerPoint? We use PowerPoint to convey a message on a topic that we are presenting on, whatever message it may be for class, business. It just helps us convey our message. And it's great because it gives you a visual representation of your topic. Instead of just talking and having people listening, you give them a visual representation of what you're saying by giving them your main talking points. images, graphs, charts, all kinds of things that help you convey your message. Next, I'm going to go over the steps of a good presentation. So the first step, of course, is to always plan. You need to plan ahead, plan your outline, how you want your PowerPoint to go, what you think the best courses of action are to take to get to your end result. Then you must prepare. You need to get all your data together, all your information together, all your graphs, charts, anything you may be using in your presentation, you need to get them prepared and together to make this an easy transition. And then you will build your presentation. Then after that, it's important that you practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect, as they say. And if you practice your speech ahead of time, you feel a lot more comfortable when you get to step 4, which is present. And we present, if you've done the first 3 steps correctly, you'll feel very confident going into your presentation. Of course, you'll have some nerves, the game day jitters, as they call them in the sports world, but it'll be okay. You'll present because you'll know you'll have prepared and planned and practiced, so you'll have all the knowledge that you'll have. You'll be able to fall back on all that practice you did to present, and you'll give a great presentation. So now guidelines. My first guideline is to fill out an outline before putting together your presentation. It's important to have an idea of where you want to go and where you want to start and what are all your main talking points that you want to hit while you're presenting. So before you start putting together your presentation, and you might start putting things you don't really need on there and it might be out of order. You might look at it like, oh, I wasted a lot of time building this slide when I don't even need it in my presentation. It's important you just make an outline before you start. It'll be a lot more efficient and effective. Next, it's important that you keep your words large enough, and it's recommended to have at least a size 24 font, so 24 or greater. And this is important because when you're presenting, you might have people way in the back of the room, and they might not be able to see your PowerPoint that well if your font size is too small. So all the time you put typing and putting in those sentences, they can't even read it, so it was for naught. The next step is to limit the amount of words you put on the page. You don't want to bore them to death with paragraphs. Your PowerPoint is not there for them to read. It's for you to just hit a few main talking points on there, and then so they understand what you're talking about, and then you elaborate on your talking points. And then it's also important to limit the amount of images you put on the page. You don't just want a page with a whole bunch of images scattered around everywhere. You want to have a few focused images on your page so they all kind of fall in line together and your audience is not confused on which image to look at. Now, the next important guideline is to choose color combinations that make it easy to read your text. You don't want to have a orange background, red text that can make it very hard for people to read your text and what you're trying to say. And once again, it'll make all the text that you wrote no good during your presentation. And you also want to stick with simple fonts that are easy to read. There are plenty of fancy fonts out there to use, but if no one can understand or read it that well, once again, it was a waste of time. And then you want to make sure all your special effects have a purpose, all your animations. You don't need to have these crazy slide transition animations on every slide if there's no purpose. But if you're using it with the purpose, you want to go like I'm doing right now with these animations step by step, and you want them to focus on one step at a time, it's a great purpose, but you don't want to just overdo it with special effects. And lastly, your slides are meant to support your presentation, not be your presentation. During your presentation, you don't want to have your back turned to your audience the whole time and just reading straight off your slideshow. You want to be talking to your audience and every now and then point to your presentation, point out a graph, maybe point out a main talking point that you have on there. But you don't want your slides to be your presentation. You don't want to be reading off your slides. That's very, very bad presentation technique. And those are my guidelines for you guys. And once again, I think if you stick to these guidelines and rules, you will give a great presentation. Congratulations on making to the end of this tutorial. I just want to give you a few last words. So it's important that you keep using PowerPoint to work on your skills. If you don't, you'll get rusty and you'll forget some of the tools and technique that have been taught. So please just keep using PowerPoint, mess around in it. There's all these designs that I was showing you. Try each one, see how it looks, see what you like. Try all the different animations. Just try everything out PowerPoint offers so much, and it's great if you just go on there and yourself and just see it for yourself. And also, like I said, make sure you prepare your outlines before diving into making a presentation. It'll save you a lot of time. It's a lesson I had to learn the hard way. So make sure you outline, prepare before trying to make a presentation just to be much more efficient. And lastly, wait until you've added all your content to design the slides. You might spend an hour designing 2 slides and you haven't even put the content in. You want to put your content in first to make sure you have all the meat and bones in there. Then you could go and add all the toppings and all the nice things to make your slides look pretty and presentable. But once again, thank you for enrolling in this course and congratulations on making it to the end.